Hello, welcome back to Story Reckless. I'm Nathan and I'm the DM here, and we're playing some D&D tonight in Descent into Avernus. Things are getting crazy. There's some stuff on the horizon that I'm excited about, quite literally.
And that's not a metaphor.
Yeah, quite literally.
There's stuff on the horizon,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, well, with that, let's do some player intros.
I'm Claire. My pronouns are they, them. I am playing Kadam, half-elf, grave cleric, and werebore.
My name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns. Tonight I will be playing both Calliope, Air Genasi, Artificer, and Curmudgeon. And I will be taking over Pip while Enyo is out for this combat. Satyr Artificer / Rogue, apparently. I have their character sheet up there.
Yes. You're double artificer, dual wielding artificers tonight. It's gonna be scary.
So yeah, what are all the characters I have under my control? It's gonna be Pip.
Oh no.
It's gonna be Calliope, Big Dummy, Little Dummy.
Little Dummy is no more.
No, Little Dummy got remade, remember?
Remember?
Oh shoot, that's right. We have Sauron, Little Dummy.
Yeah, Edgelord,
Little Dummy.
Little Dummy, Sauron, Edgelord, Little Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, Action Economy is my friend.
There you go. All right, awesome.
It's
Well,
gonna be Olive playing D&D by herself.
yay! Yeah,
Yeah, you have one NPC this time.
Well, 3, because I have Uldrock, or no, 4.
right.
I have Uldrock, Ralzala, Lulu, and
Yes, of course.
Yonder.
Thank you. I was like, sad emo
I still
vampire
outnumber
boy.
you.
Yeah. You still have what?
I still outnumber you, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yes. All right. Well, with that, let us jump in to tonight's session, and I'm gonna switch this over here as we do a quick recap. So, last we left off, you all rescued Yonder. He warned you that upon leaving, that Zariel would be notified and she would be out looking for him. And
He was
all of
telling
you.
the truth.
You all decided the best course of action to create a distraction for Zariel would be to make this bargain with Archon the Cruel to essentially gain... Oh, that's right, to get Uldrock back into his Titan form, as he needs a vial of Tiamat's blood. But before you can do that, you need Mooncolor to deliver, Mooncolor the Unicorn to deliver to Archon the Cruel. And in order to get Mooncolor the Unicorn, you decided you were going to face off against Ralzala, the Dao that is guarding the demon zapper that Mooncolor is trapped within. You charged in towards the demon zapper, facing off against Ralzala. The combat just started as a couple of bouts were exchanged when you all heard a low, thunderous horn that seemed to be omnipresent and echo across this wasteland. And off on the horizon, you could see it was emanating from a towering, monolithic structure gliding across the landscape in your direction. It looked to be almost an obsidian sword is the best way to describe it, with veins of fiery red kind of going throughout its structure. And it is on the horizon, but approaching steadily, perhaps fast, hard to tell because it's so big. But you're in the middle of combat, so we're gonna get right back into it here. Let's over to the map. So we ended at the top of the round with that happening, taking us straight into Calliope. I believe it is your turn. Calliope, what would you like to do? You are flying 100 feet up in the air right now, and you can see the bright orb of energy, and within there's kind of the vague shape of a horse-like figure trapped within there.
I would like to see if there's any way that I can see to release Mooncolor. If there's like a big, just like emergency release switch
Sure,
anywhere. That'd be great.
Make an Arcana check.
Nathan,
Oh,
I love it when you tell me to make an Arcana check. This is gonna go so well. Watch this. Easy. Arcana check. Boom. 23.
23, nice. You do not see any sort of like levers or things that can be manipulated to like operate this thing. It does have a lot of, infernal runes throughout it, and it's clear that the tower itself is kind of powering this entire thing. It's creating the energy field around Mooncolor, and then somehow siphoning some of the energy from that celestial being off to zap any demons that approach. If you want to release her or release them, as far as you can tell, you would need to destroy the tower.
Destroy the tower. And no guesses for how one might go about doing that.
It's the 23. I mean, it looks like you could probably physically, physically hit it with weapons or larger weapons or
like a wrecking ball that we have.
A wrecking ball, perhaps. Yes, that could potentially destroy it. I mean, for certain it's immune to fire, which makes sense. Yeah. But other elemental effects it might be affected by. That typically fiends tend to be immune to fire and poison. Although this is a structure, so poison it just seems like it makes sense it wouldn't affect it. But every other type of elemental damage, fiends sometimes are resistant to, but usually will be hurt by it. So I'll give you that. You can kind of.
Okay, I think I'll call down. I'm just like, use the wrecking ball.
Okay.
Knock down the base.
You're calling down to the demon grinder, which Pip is inside. I think she looks up and gives you a thumbs up. All right, they'll try. Okay. Do you want to do anything with your bonus action movement?
I mean, I don't think there's much for me to do besides, I guess, engage Ralzala. So currently Ralzala is 60 feet up, right? And I'm 100 feet up?
Ralzala is 30 feet up. You're 100 feet up, so she's 70 feet below you.
70 feet below me. Dang. That is.
And I believe you have a 60-foot fly speed, right?
Let me double check. Yes.
Okay.
And I have Long Strider up on Big Dummy.
Okay. That doesn't affect the fly speed, I'm assuming?
The target speed increases by 10 feet.
Oh, okay. So 70.
I've read that it does.
Okay, yeah. So you have 70 feet of movement.
But I only need 60 feet of it to go to. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna go down and take my attack on Ralzala.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? That's good enough. I guess I'm gonna use my bonus. I was thinking of having Big Dummy use force damage on the tower, but I think it's better if we just play keep away.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just gonna attack Ralzala twice with Lance. No flanking, no advantage.
Go for it.
26 and 18.
Those both hit.
24 damage.
Okay, so as you glide down in the scorpion-like lance at the back, 2 quick strikes, striking into her, she kind of takes it in her shoulders, but parries aside the majority of the damage. Yeah, she's looking fine.
Then Big Dummy is gonna dash 70 feet back up.
Okay, so flying straight back up, back up into the air.
And I think I'm just gonna hang out right next to the Mooncolor.
Okay, great. All right, that takes us to Valor.
All right. She's going to jump onto the harpoon flinger.
Okay.
I feel like piercing damage is not going to do much to the building.
That was my thought too. Otherwise, I would have attacked it instead.
Yeah. And we're going to try and get Ralzala.
Okay.
I've been working on my Russian accent. Can I do 2 attacks with this?
I think it's just one.
Okay.
It should just be one.
Okay. Plus things.
Plus 7 to hit.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That will hit.
Okay. 2. 16 points of piercing damage.
Nice. Slams into her, and she sort of pushes the harpoon that's like dug into her a bit. She just breaks it off and slams it down into the ground. Okay, anything else for Valor?
You thought you got this!
The inspiring leader.
Leadership thing.
Okay.
Yes, and that's it.
Okay, awesome. Lulu, I think Lulu uses a solid 2 to 3 seconds of her turn looking wide-eyed at the structure coming towards you all on the horizon, and then flies up towards Ralzala, and she'll actually angle towards the structure and Ralzala, and she'll use her thundering trumpet, I believe, which trumpet of blasting, which is this incredibly loud, concentrated blast of trumpet that just almost sonic boom like sends out energy. Non-magical objects in the cone that are being held or worn take double the damage. Okay. So Ralzala is first going to make a con save.
Is Lulu like a wrecking ball?
Siege weapon.
A siege weapon, yeah. So Ralzala's gonna make a con save. Wow, she fails. Okay. I'm just gonna to speed this up, I'm gonna do the averages for each. So Ralzala is only gonna take, I mean, it's decent, 17 points of thunder damage as it slams into her and she is deafened. The structure will take 35 points of thunder damage. Small little fractures form across where it struck the base of the structure. So it takes a 17, and the structure. Oh, why did that not? All right, 35 points to the structure. And then Lulu, panting, is going to zip down back into the Tormentor to get into cover. Uldrock's just going to hurl a flame up towards Ralzala.
Uldrock is helping.
He gets to do...
He's invested in this fight.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna do 2 of these. Wow, hits with both. Oh my god, she is getting pummeled. And one of them is a natural 20, so 17 fire from the first and 19 from the second. Oh man, she's looking messed up. So just getting pummeled. There's just cracks forming all throughout her form. She's panting, kind of looks over her shoulder at the structure that is looming in the distance and is quickly approaching. I mean, not quick, it's still a ways off, but she sees it, takes note of it, looks around at all of you, grimaces, and is going to move and dash. She goes down into the ground and uses her earth glide to just disappear down below the ground. And she's out of sight. So that's her movement and action to do that. Taking us to Pip.
I think Pip is gonna So the demon grinder hit a whole bunch of like rock walls.
It
and
did.
stuff, right?
It just came to a slamming halt, and it took a little bit of damage, but it's still operational.
Right, and there's like all the what's it, featherfall foam
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
like spilling out. I think Pip is like, oh, hey, all right then, and like backs up. It's like beep beep beep, just like away from the rubble, and then just kind of like hercules jerkily like bumps over and like around these walls.
Okay.
I think I don't know how much movement the demon grinder has, but I think it's enough.
So much.
Oh yeah, it's ton.
So just like get onto the other side of this
Okay.
tower where we saw Ralzala going down, and then what's the tower's footprint?
Oh right, yeah. It's a little odd because the way the artist drew this. It's like kind of at an angle. I'm gonna say the footprint is. Let me hold on. The footprint would basically be, I think, that right. So
it.
so you can move. I mean, yeah, you have plenty of movement, but you can move in where you're close enough to it.
Well, I guess like over here, it's a 15-foot reach with this wrecking ball.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's just have it kind of swing around, and
All
try to
right.
take a chunk out of this. Our turn to use siege weapons against the thing that somebody's defending.
Amazing.
So this is a wrecking ball plus 9 to hit.
Okay.
And it deals double damage to structures.
Oh shit. Okay.
So that's an at one.
No. Okay. Yeah. There's nobody at risk of being hit by this. So I think it's just she miscalculated and it's just short and it just like swings past, kind of grazes against the base of the tower with a little bit of a grinding sound and then just woo, swings out and completely misses. Oh, that would have been oh well. So yeah, unfortunately the wrecking ball misses. So that was Pip's action.
Pip has bonus actions and stuff, I guess. Cunning action high.
Right, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth roll.
All right.
She just ducks down in the driver's seat. Where did she go?
Pip has +1 to stealth.
That can't be right. Really?
Yeah.
On the
That's why she rolls so terribly on her stealth checks all the
that's
time.
an 18.
Her build is so baffling to me. I love it. Okay. 18. Okay, not bad. All right. That'll
Was
take.
that for the demon grinder or just Pip?
Sorry, what? Was that what?
Is that hijacked for the entire demon grinders?
No, definitely not. That's just for her. All right, that takes us to. I think you're done, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll take us to Yonder, who of course I did not have his stat block. Well, you know what? That's right. He's not like he's gonna go claw the tower. He's gonna, I guess, he's gonna try one of the harpoon flingers. Because what else? It has chomper, harpoon. Yeah, he'll try one of the harpoon flingers and fire it at the base of the tower. Still at disadvantage because of his exhaustion. Oh, but got a 20, a dirty 20. Dealing 10 points of damage to the tower, and it does indeed look like the flinger just sticks into the base, leaving a big puncture mark in it. You kind of see the whole tower sort of like flash up, like a ripple of energy kind of courses up through the runes, and the energy field around Moon Color seems to kind of flicker, like still very present, but definitely doing some damage to it. Okay, that was Yonder. Kadam, you're up.
All right, I have a question for
Yeah.
Nathan.
Okay, I'm ready.
I want to cast the spell Stellar Bodies.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds great.
That's all right. You don't necessarily even need to. But it says that I must make a ranged spell attack against a creature.
Okay. What is the effect of the spell?
Damage.
Just like radiant damage or something like that?
Yeah, radiant damage.
What is it look like as you do it? Like you know what I'm saying? Because it's like if it's like inflict wounds, that seems like a weird one to be able to do on an object, right? Because it's like necrotic in the way you described it.
No,
so
I'm
like
flinging stars at this thing.
flinging
Is
stars
what I
at
want
it.
to do.
I mean, that seems like it could hurt a structure. So go ahead. You can. Is it an attack roll?
Yeah, so I will cast Stellar Bodies first, which, from my mirror out come 3 stars that immediately start to orbit me. And then, as part of my action, I will like underhand lob one of them at the tower.
Okay. Just so curious. When you say stars, are we talking like real looking stars, like they're just burning balls of light, or are we talking like full on little like stars, like symbolic?
5-pointed?
Yeah, little symbolic. No, okay,
these
burning
are like
burning
stars
balls.
that one sees in the sky.
Excellent. Okay, so these little burning stars, and underhand lob one up. Go ahead and make it the attack roll.
And I'm casting this at 5th level.
Okay. Ooh, wow. Oh yeah, you guys are high level now.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah.
This is the highest level I've ever been, except for a 1/1 shot. Here we are. That's 9. Oh dear. Yeah. 12.
Do you get to use that D4 thing or no?
Oh, 2.
Is it for attack rolls?
Yep. It's like bless, but for one person. 13.
It just misses. I think it's just there wasn't enough, I guess, will behind the casting of the spell. Like the energy wasn't there, and it just splashes against the side of the tower, leaving a scorch mark, but not doing any actual damage.
All right. Well, I've got 2 more.
Okay. That'll take us to. Is that it for you, Kadam?
Yeah.
Okay. It'll take us to Calliope.
Well, Ralzala's gone underground.
Oh, and I think just for flavor, at the top of the round, you hear another.
I don't like this. Let's get Mooncolor and get out of here. Yeah, I think with the absence of Ralzala, I'm just gonna start attacking directly. I think these big old pincers.
Okay.
Hidden, kind of holding Mooncolor. Did it seem like the piercing damage from the harpoon was reduced?
No, it seemed like it just
shit.
right into the base of the tower.
All right then, let's just do that then.
Okay.
Got 13 and 16. So
The
13
16 will
misses.
hit, yeah.
That's 15 damage.
Okay. Again, piercing into the side.
And I'll have Big Dummy bonus action to open up its mouth and do the force thing.
Okay.
28 to hit, 8 force damage.
Okay, nice. That does indeed make an impact on it. Okay. Anything else for you, Calliope?
I'm gonna fly down, I think about 70 feet or 60 feet or something, to kind of puppy guard that war machine a little bit.
Okay, cool. You're gonna fly down 60 feet to be closer to that. Cool. Damn it, do it again. Okay, that takes us to Valor.
Valor's gonna go for the structure.
Okay, great.
Oh, that's mediocre. +7. That's 13. Gosh.
God. Ricochets off the base of the tower. Yeah, I think she curses under her breath and starts to load up the next one, unless you want her to do something else. Okay. Lulu looks over the two of you, Kadam and Valor. We're getting raided again. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Welcome back, Fusca.
Fusca. Oh yeah, did we get Fusca? Was that last week or when did we get Fusca? Hello.
Fusca came for our anniversary, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Yes. Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight. You are joining us in the middle of the group. We're in Avernus. They're trying to take down a infernal tower that's holding a unicorn captive. And on the distance on the horizon, there is a massive flying fortress that is slowly approaching, but very persistently approaching this tower.
It was a sort of like, oh, like this probably won't happen, like small percentage, and like rolling like, what was it, like a 3 on percentage dice?
Oh yeah.
To, like, to start the final boss battle. Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Right
Yeah,
now,
great.
we're fine.
Yeah.
In 30 minutes, maybe not.
Yeah, I was I was rolling percent all dice, and it was a 10% to be fair, but still it was
okay,
very
okay.
low, and it was basically divine intervention, and then I happened to roll a 3, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh wow, on the first day. Anyways, let's resume. So Lulu, the little golden flying holy font, looks over you, Kadam, and Valor. I mean, I got 2 more of these. I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Takes off, flies with immense speed to the base of the tower, and lets out a little blast, and the tower can't make a save, so it's going to take another 35 points of thunder damage as more cracks and fractures form around the base as she lets out her little trumpet that is... Honestly, actually, for you, Calliope, and all the people in the Demon Grinder, it is so loud from that angle. It like lets out a like a sonic boom, just like a blast. And she kind of goes, "Oh, sorry," and then flies back into the into Persistence, the Tormentor. That takes us to Uldrock, the Barbed Devil, still leaning out the side of the Demon Grinder. Looks down at his flaming little fireball in his hand, then looks at the tower. Oh, I guess that's not gonna work. And then looks over at the other harpoon flinger that's on the Demon Grinder. Oh, fine. Clambers up, gets up into the little turret on the side, flings the, swivels the harpoon towards the tower, and is gonna fire. And we'll fire it at the tower. He is not shooting at disadvantage. But he rolled a 9. Yeah, I think what happens is that he pulls on the trigger after observing all of you do it, and it just goes dry, and then he looks down and goes, oh, and loads up one of the barbs or the harpoons into it. That was his turn.
It's bad for it to launch dry like that. Don't do that.
I didn't know. That takes us to Ralzala. She appears up out of the earth and casts Conjure Elemental as her eyes flash, and a earth elemental just forms out of the infernal rock around you and appears on the other side of Persistence. And then she kind of steadies herself looking around at what's happening, and then goes back into the ground. So she's back under the earth, and I'm just going to have the elemental go at the end of her turn to keep it simple. And the earth elemental, looking around, looks right at Persistence and is going to lift up a big rocky fist and just start wailing into Persistence.
Not good.
Siege monster. The elemental deals double damage to objects and structures. So
Persistence might no longer persist.
26 hit points? Yes, Olive?
I'm looking up my notes right now. 26 hit points. Yep.
Great.
26 hit points for Persistence. Why does Persistence have so few hit points?
Because we started at 1. We're reducing its exhaustion.
Let's see if Persistence lives up to its name. Here we go. The elemental gets to make 2 slam attacks. Oh yeah. 25 and an 18.
The 18 misses.
Okay, so off of the side of the armor, 25 slams down into Persistence. It's going to be 2d8 plus 5 damage.
Technically possible to survive.
For some reason, hold on. Why does it not just do that by default? It's so annoying. Okay, I'm just going to ignore the 2-hit roll. I'm just going to roll for damage. Okay, so 10 bludgeoning damage doubled to 20 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so that does
Huge.
trigger a mishap.
Okay, that triggers a mishap. Let me remember how mishaps work. I think I just roll on this table. Well, why don't you roll for me, Claire? Roll a d20.
D20. 18.
The elemental slams down into the front kind of, this thing is almost, we've decided it's almost shaped like Furiosa's war wagon, like it kind of has that front end, almost like hood that a car would have. So this elemental slams down into that hood and it crunches down with a horrible, sickening sound. And you hear kind of a bending. I'm not gonna tell you what happened. You're gonna find out though.
Okay.
But I will give you this. Sounds like something really bad just happened and broke up at the front of the vehicle.
Excellent. I will leave that to the artificers to fix.
Might not have time.
All right. Poor persistence. Okay, that was the elemental's turn. It is now Pip's turn.
Pip, time to make it count.
All right, is Pip gonna do the wrecking ball?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see it.
17.
That hits.
That is 53 bludgeoning damage.
Is that doubled or just
3 doubled?
That's already doubled.
No.
Oh.
Pre-doubled.
Oh shit! Wait, so
This thing does 8d8 plus 4 bludgeoning damage.
oh my god!
My friend.
And does it do double damage to objects or it does?
Yes.
Holy shit! Okay, so wait, so how much damage is that?
So that is 106 total damage.
Oh my god! All right, so the demon grinder, this massive tank-like thing with this horrible grinding mouth at the front and a huge wrecking ball at the back. It does not destroy the tower with this, but it does a massive amount of damage as it slams into the bottom. The whole lower side, one side of the structure, just caves in, and the tower itself starts to lean as you hear metal grinding and moaning. Yeah, it's looking really damaged, but it is still barely holding on. Okay, that was Pip's action.
I'm trying to look to see if can we run over the earth elemental.
Oh,
Let's see. The demon grinder can move through the space of any large or smaller creature. When it does, it must succeed on a dex save or take some damage and be knocked prone.
I do hate to be this person, and I'm going to
Yeah.
let it slide for the first two here. Technically, you have to use your action to drive it or use a weapon. So I'd say,
Got it.
yeah, she could get somebody else to try to drive it on their turn.
Oh yeah, so I wasn't paying attention to this before. The
it's
wrecking
fine, yeah.
ball requires one crew and grants half cover.
Yeah.
So this is Pip manning the wrecking ball.
So she basically drove it into
Got it.
place and then scrambled to the back of the vehicle to get into the operator seat of the wrecking ball and
Got it.
swung it around.
I think then Pip is like, yonder! No,
Yonder.
that's Calliope's voice.
Yeah.
Yonder! Run him down!
Yonder looks and all right, and is going to, on his turn, it is his turn next. Yeah, he's going to jump into the driver's seat. Okay, is that it for Pip?
Bonus action.
Bonus action hide. Okay, let me see that stealth roll. A +1.
A 4.
Okay. I think she does the same thing. She slowly sinks down into her seat, but I think the gig is up. It's not gonna work. Okay, Yonder jumps into the driver's seat of this thing and is going to start plowing towards the earth elemental. So what happens here? He just drives through it and
it needs to succeed on the DC 11 dex save or take some damage, 4d10.
Okay. I do need to check something about crashing into a vehicle. I think because this creature is only a size large.
Yeah, it says it can move through the space of any large or smaller creature.
Oh, then yeah, okay. So yeah, Yonder just plows on through, and I think we'll bring it over here so it's close to the base of the tower. And the Earth Elemental makes a what save? A Dex save?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not very dexterous, but it got a 19. It rolled a natural 20 -1. So, but does it still take damage?
Yes. No.
Oh, it's
No, it
no.
doesn't, I
Successful save takes no
Yeah.
damage. Okay, so the
I
Earth
think
Elemental.
Pip is like, no, get further away from. Again, Calliope's voice.
Yeah.
This is where Ralzala is coming up. Get away.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, he will drive around, and I think this thing can use its bonus action to dash, so it should have plenty of movement to get all the way to there. Basically, driving circles around the tower. Pip getting ready to bring that wrecking ball in to swing, and the Earth Elemental just stepped out of the way, narrowly missing the Demon Grinder. That takes us to Kadam.
Stellar bodies again.
Okay.
Oh. At the structure. There we go. That's so much. 20.
Oh yeah, that hits.
6.
26.
And that's 4d8. Yep. I rolled 2 8s. Okay. Yeah. Do I do plus my modifier as well? No. 27 radiant damage.
Woo! Nice. Blasts a hole right through the base of the tower, and it leans a bit more, and it's just barely holding on to its structure. As this burning, melted hole has appeared at the base of the tower. Anything else for you, Kadam?
No, because I just used my action. Yeah. It's gonna have to be Valor who gets us out of here.
Okay.
I just used my action.
Okay, that takes us to Calliope.
Is this thing does it look like it's within, just like it needs a little shove?
Yeah, I mean, not literally like dink, but yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close to going.
I see. I really don't want.
You.
Okay, Valor's got it. I can go in there and just lumberjack it down, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get on. So you know how lumberjacks kind of they make a wedge on one side of a tree.
Yeah.
That they chop down from the other side. After that big wrecking ball hit, I'm gonna go over to this side if that's.
Yeah. Awesome.
kind of zip around and then try to make that final chop to
Go for it.
balance it. Oh boy, 2 lance attacks coming up, and then a dummy rend likely, but we'll
okay.
See. Oh god, another
13 again,
and a 22, so 13 damage.
Oh, okay.
And then dummy rend is a nat 1.
Oh my god.
We are having some trouble rolling today.
Yeah.
Calliope, you're using your lance for this, so you're kind of puncturing through it. I guess you managed to puncture a hole in. Are you doing it on the opposite side of where the wrecking ball hit? Is the idea?
Yeah, like I was saying.
Yeah, you puncture a hole in, shearing off a good portion of metal. And the whole tower again just groans and you can tell just looking, this thing is now at the point where it could literally if somebody just shoulder checked it really hard, it would probably fall over. It is so close to falling over. Taking us to Valor. What is Valor gonna do? The vehicle is severely
gotta get
damaged.
out of there.
Yeah, Valor's gonna drive.
Okay. Can the vehicle take a disengage action? I think it can.
I think so.
Opportunity attacks.
Doesn't say anything about it specifically from what I see.
I think. I don't know if it can. Yeah, maybe just a quick Google search will be better.
As a bonus action, the driver can do one of the following.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Pause it to take dash
Okay.
or disengage.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So
So,
it's
Valor
even just a
will-
bonus action.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, bonus action disengage, and then is it an action to make it move?
To drive, yes.
To drive? Yeah. Okay. So 60 feet gets me nicely over there.
Okay, hold on. We have to decide which way the vehicle was oriented when you went to drive.
Ooh.
Because as Valor goes to turn the wheel,
Oh.
the axle is damaged and it can only go in a straight line. We can
Okay,
say
so we didn't
that
actually.
we could say it was oriented that way. That's just fine. But
Well, it wasn't though. Is the thing.
what
is
did you see in your mind? Yeah, which way was it oriented?
We drove up to the base of the tower,
Okay.
parked, and Kadam got out.
Okay, so
the
is
roof.
this? It's going this way,
It's
right?
going that way.
So then Valor can accelerate that way or go backwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
Backwards?
yeah, that's true. You could drive backwards. There's nothing that says
I
you
think
can't
we
do
could
that.
go forwards. Valor
Okay.
can just miss the building here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Wait, actually, hold up. I just want to check something. Because this thing has the raking scythes. When the tormentor moves within 5 feet of a creature that isn't prone or another vehicle for the first time on a turn, it can rake the creature or vehicle with its protruding blades. A creature moves out of the way, takes no damage if it succeeds on a DC 13. Okay, the building can't make a save, so Valor drives past, and the blades on the side of the vehicle just clip through the metal on the side of this building, and you all hear a as
go!
all of the runes flash one last time and then go out. You see the sphere of energy where Mooncolor is start to flicker, and as the tower, which way is it falling? I guess that way. So, yeah, I think it's falling right, maybe just past the Demon Grinder. I'm gonna say Yonder, I guess, needs to make a dexterity saving throw for the Demon Grinder as this tower comes crashing down. Strangely, the ball of energy that Mooncolor is in. Actually, no. Yeah, I think it's going with the tower as it's flickering. So Yonder's gonna make a dexterity save for the Demon Grinder. Unfortunately, at disadvantage because he's exhausted. So here we go. Yeah, he fails with a 9.
Let's see. Reactions juke. If the tormentor is able to move, the driver
Well,
can use its reaction.
This is the Demon Grinder, though. I don't think
right.
because it's a big lumbering thing.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So
right,
it's just some debris is gonna hit it for sure.
Yeah, that's fine, though.
And I think to be fair, I said the tower is 100 feet tall.
Mhm.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I think it's 10d6 because it's like falling damage. It's like this thing.
Well, if the top of it was falling at that point, but being so close to the base,
All right,
the top of the
I'll say 5d6. I mean, you know what?
Just
No,
gonna
no.
needle my
You know
way.
what? You know what? It's a tower. It's a giant tower of metal. I think 10d6 is completely reasonable for a giant tower of metal. So, 10d6 damage as this thing falls. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Ignore that roll. D6. 10. Okay, here we go. So 40 points of bludgeoning damage to the Demon Grinder. Slams down all around it. I believe that triggers a mishap. So why don't you roll a d20 for me, Calliope, for this one, just because...
13.
13, okay. Okay, as it slams down, something like one of the tubing, like one of the pieces of tubing that kind of siphons the ichor and soul energy like throughout the vehicle snaps, and this blinding like black, almost tarry smoke just starts to billow out and fill the cab, blinding the driver. So Yonder can't see shit right now. It's just smoke is like filling the cab up. All the other people are able to see just fine. Okay, so Valor, how far is Valor gonna drive? You have 100 feet of movement.
Well, I'm not going to drive into the Ichor, I don't think.
Okay, so go to there.
Yeah.
Is there a reason that we wouldn't?
I mean, Valor still wants to be around for the fight.
I see.
Okay, awesome.
It's about 50 feet there, I think. 40 feet, something like that.
Cool. So that was Valor. Lulu would have been with the vehicle. So the tower slams down, and as it does, that ball of force, almost like hamster ball-esque, rolls for a second as the energy dissipates, and you watch as Mooncolor, this like majestic unicorn, just kind of tumbles out onto their side and sort of looks up, seeing that they are now freed. That was... So Mooncolor has fallen here just outside the reach of the Ichor, and is like laying on the ground there. That takes us to Lulu. Lulu is going to hold her action to use her trumpeting blast if Ralzala gets close. She'll use her sparkling trumpet if Ralzala gets close.
Ralzala, you're free now. You don't gotta protect it no more.
Oldrock will also hold his action. Seeing the towers destroyed, he kind of pokes out from the rubble out of the turret, and he kind of scoffs at the turret and just produces a flame in his hand and gets ready to throw flames if Ralzala appears. And Ralzala will... So you watch as she appears up above ground just behind the demon grinder. And as she does, her eyes go wide as she sees that the tower has collapsed, and you see her look kind of distraught. And then suddenly from the ground underneath her, these barbed chains just shoot up out of the ground as she screams out, "No!" latching onto her, and she's gonna try to resist this.
I was kind of hoping she'd just be free.
Let me check something. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's see here. This would be... Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a dex save. Oh yeah, no way. The chains just wrap around her and pull her into the ground. It seems like her ability to earth glide isn't working as she's slammed down into the ground, and these chains just start to constrict around her. I mean, Oldrock has no qualms, and he's just gonna fucking shoot at her. So he just goes for it. Okay, so she's technically prone, but she's restrained, so just gonna call this straight roll. Here we go. Those both miss. 16 and a 17, or 16 and a 16. Those both miss. Blasting around her, but she is now being like pulled into the ground by these chains and being held there tight. But the Earth Elemental still has its command, so it can't even reach anybody, but it will dash up next to Ralzala, next to the demon grinder. So it goes dashing up. That takes us to Pip.
What's Moon Color looking like? Is Moon Color looking cogent? Is Moon Color just looking unconscious?
Moon color. That's a good question. I think moon color is looking fine. Like, they're sort of starting to sit up and look around from all of this, seeming really kind of shocked, maybe a little relief, but they don't look injured.
I think Pip then. Does Moon Color have initiative?
Um, that's a good point. Yeah. I am gonna say. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Mooncolor, much like Yonder, is looking. Unless I don't know if Mooncolor are. I'm just checking. Something.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
What Pip wants to do is
Mooncolor looks exhausted, but yeah. Go ahead.
Is like convince Moon Color to like get into the car. We gotta go.
Okay, yeah, let me so Pip looks down to Mooncolor, gestures for Mooncolor to jump into the car and shout something witty. And
Fey to Fey.
Yeah, Fey to Fey. I'm gonna just quickly see. I'm gonna do this at disadvantage for Mooncolor. Okay, so yeah, Mooncolor is gonna go last. Mooncolor got a 3. But yeah, I think
that's not good.
I think Mooncolor goes. I mean, yeah, looks at Pip and looks and sees what just happened. Okay, I'll come with you, and is starting to get up from the ground. What would Pip like to do? Pip is on the wrecking ball.
Yeah. Okay, so mechanically, what I see needs to happen is on Yonder's turn, he needs to disengage and move away out of an attack of opportunity range. And then I think prepare an action to dash after Mooncolor gets in the car. So I think Pip is going to yell something panicked to that effect as she goes and starts using an ability check to restore end a mishap.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so
which artificers can do.
Yes, so she can use, like we've established, you can use intelligence for this because you're an artificer.
Yeah.
This malfunction, technically we'd use Dex to repair, but yeah, she can use her intelligence to try to repair it.
Okay, so that's...
And her tools.
Intelligence, and then tools as artificers get doubled.
Mm-hmm.
So it's +4 from intelligence, and then +8 more from proficiency.
Okay.
Doubled, I think.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Is that true? Do we have plus?
Yep.
Do we have 4?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And and she has that helm.
Yeah, that's a 27 to end.
So yeah, like, again, I think this is memories of Calliope that have been suddenly infused into Pip's mind. She like crawls into the bowels of this thing and sees the smoking line that's like sputtering, and quickly assesses what needs to happen. Honestly, let me check something. This isn't actually a hugely challenging one for her to fix, but she still is able to figure out exactly what to do and is able to quickly repair that line. I think she has mending as well, so she's able to just seal it up. The smoke stops, and Yonder is now able to see. Yonder, that was Pip action.
Yeah, I think like in the mouth of the demon grinder currently, just like
maybe like
down.
Yeah. Yonder will, like you said, Yonder will bonus action disengage, use movement to just get to about there, and then hold action to dash. It gets to Mooncolor's turn. Mooncolor like wearily gets up and crawls into the demon grinder. I think like cargo hold. It is the biggest vehicle, so is able to like probably like Uldrock, I guess, like pops open one of the large like cargo hatches that kind of slams down, and then Mooncolor gets inside, and Yonder just kicks it as the cargo hatch starts to raise up, and unless Kadam, Calliope, or Valor, I guess Calliope, are you're flying? Are you gonna try to just glide down to persistence?
Yeah, I'm gonna glide down to persistence and use my ability or my action to end that mishap.
Okay, sweet. So you glide down as you see the demon grinder carting off across the black ichor. Go ahead and make your action to try to fix the damaged axle.
That's a 29.
Oh yeah, you are able to hop off of Big Dummy, and again, much like Pip, you crawl into the bowels of this thing as it's starting to kick up and move, and you quickly see where the axle has been bent and locked into place, and you're able to quickly repair like whatever is holding it locked there in place. And Calliope, what do you do as you finish this? You hear the engine like getting ready to rev up and go, and you manage to finish the repair.
I think Big Dummy kind of like comes down and like so I think has like I kind of like the idea, honestly, instead of it being like 100% fixed.
Okay.
What we have done is I've lashed it to Big Dummy in a way. So and like just like I think I've unhooked the steering axle.
Oh, okay.
And so now it can like turn freely. And Big Dummy is now flying above and like pulling it in the direction that we need to go.
I almost imagine like Big Dummy's chicken-like legs have come down and on either side, like holding onto the axle to like.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
To like move it, and then the wings are like.
Yeah, like rudders. That's great.
That's awesome.
Probably really hard to see where we're going.
So Big Dummy is almost like a hood ornament right now, like perched and grabbing onto the axle on either side to help steer it. As Kadam, unless you and Valor do something different,
going.
Yeah, the vehicle just takes off out across the Avernus wastes, leaving behind the writhing Ralzala as she's being pulled into the ground, held there by these chains. And you all hear another loud and you see that fortress, that structure, it's moving pretty quick. It is massive, and it is moving with a good amount of speed in your direction. If you are going to attempt to outrun
We're going to attempt to outrun this.
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay. I'm going to clear the tracking list. Okay. Well, the way this is going to work, we're going to do a skill challenge here as you all take off, fleeing the massive fortress that is pursuing behind you. Let's see, who's in what vehicle? So, Calliope, you're in Persistence with Kadam and Valor and Lulu. Pip is over with Yonder and Oldrock and Mooncolor. As you're fleeing away, Ichor flying up behind the vehicles, we quickly zoom in to see Pip there helming the vehicle now, like pushing Yonder out of the way and jumping on and driving. Yonder is kind of leaned out and is looking behind at the structure that is coming on the distance and looks back at Pip wide-eyed. We have to go. We have to find a way to lose her. And Pip is just like narrowing her eyes, focusing, pushing in on the throttle, and we quickly fly over towards the two of you in Persistence as you are just behind the demon grinder, following in pursuit. Anything y'all are doing in this moment before we get into the chase?
I would like to use Divine Intervention and pray to Sehanine that Sehanine makes Zariel lose the path.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Go for it. Let's see. Let's see if you get that low roll.
Where's another D10? Somewhere around here. Okay. 11 or lower. Nope.
Okay. Unfortunately, as you hold your thoughts and think towards Sehanine and let out this prayer, trying to gain some assistance, it doesn't seem to connect. What about you, Calliope? Are you like in this brief moment? I'm about to get to we're gonna get into the chase here, but I'm just wondering if there's any little thing that happens here in this moment as you start the initial flee away from the fortress that is bearing down on you.
I think the thought crosses Calliope's mind that the demon grinder is full of people we don't have the utmost of faith in, and they have moon color. It's Pip, Yonder, Uldrock, and then moon color, right?
Uh-huh.
It's all complicated figures over there. I think Calliope is gonna look over to Kadam to see if Kadam's thinking similar thoughts, and sees Kadam, I guess,
Praying.
Yeah.
Eyes on the road. But
Yeah,
praying.
of course. And then it's like, well, I gotta hold this thing together.
Okay.
This is where we are right now.
Are you jumping into the helm and relieving Valor of driving this vehicle, or are you gonna let her continue to drive?
Well, I'm driving.
Oh, Kadam's driving. Sorry.
Kadam's driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I guess I did say that Valor was driving.
I mean, it's fine. There's time here. You can quickly switch out if you want somebody in particular to be driving. It is important, though.
Valor can drive.
Valor
She's
can
just
drive.
as good as I am.
Okay, so out across the black tarry field of Demon Ichor, we slowly kind of pan out to an aerial view, seeing the two cars, just these two vehicles, skating across this sea of writhing ichor, and far behind the structure, getting closer and closer. Below it, we can see billowing dust as this thing is kicking up some sort of debris. You all hear another and you see little specks, little figures start to, like clouds of insects, start to flutter out from this thing and spin around it, and you're seeing them sort of flying in and out through the structure itself, creating this cloud of creatures that are surrounding this thing as it moves in your direction. After about probably 5 minutes of tense driving, seeing this thing just out of a horror movie, it is not getting smaller. It's just slowly but surely getting closer. I guess Pip is out in front. I'm gonna say, for convenience sake here, because we don't have Enya with us tonight, that Persistence kind of takes the lead and gets out in front of the Demon Grinder because it's like a much bigger vehicle. You have a brief moment, I think, where you're able to pass and shout at each other from across the way. Pip, I think, looks over at you, the two of you in the driver's cab with Valor, and just shouts out, "I have mood color in here with me! They seem to be okay!" As dust and ichor is just kind of splattering past you. Calliope, as you look up ahead, Kadam, both of you, I guess, looking up ahead through the thin slit of the windshield, you start to see this collection of rock pillars sort of approaching, and it is a massive, geographical feature here that you could potentially circumnavigate, but it is like a large, almost valley that you're approaching with these strange, rock pillars that are forming almost a labyrinth-esque
Labyrinth sounds perfect. Let's go.
What I would like to know is, we'll go with the leading car. How are you going to try to navigate this feature that you are rapidly approaching?
I'm thinking we go into the labyrinth and then take a turn somewhere and come out in the direction they're not expecting.
Okay, great. I would say that could be survival or perception to try to get a sense of. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to necessarily be coming from you, Calliope. This can be a collaborative thing.
I could make a survival roll. Actually, wait a minute. Valor is driving, yes?
Yeah.
Can she brute force it? Can she just try and like pedal to the metal, going as fast as she absolutely can and navigate through?
She can, yeah, absolutely. Like basically just she's driving not I hear what you're saying. This is like the basically asteroid field, like going as fast as you can, but like narrowly dodging all of the pillars to try to gain some distance in this rough terrain. Yeah. Shoo. I think this is what makes the most sense for me is Dex for like, dexterously like going through. But I could see a case for strength in that this is a
make an argument
heavy
for
vehicle. Huh?
I would love to make an argument for strength.
Yeah. Let's go with it. I'll say an athletics check. She is going to be pushing this vehicle to the limit. So I'm gonna say if this fails,
It's 10 HP.
It's 6 HP.
Oh, 6 HP. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. If it fails,
go.
she might clip it and do some damage to it.
28.
Oh my god. Okay, so you're putting Valor is running Pip like giving Pip a run for her money as she is trying to keep up with Valor with an even bigger vehicle. In fact, I think what is happening behind you is that the Demon Grinder, it is so much bigger but just more tank-like. It's just fully smashing through some of these pillars trying to keep up with Valor as you and the more nimble vehicle are just we all see again, kind of we get down low, like wider, down close to the rocky surface of Avernus, down next to these vehicles as they rocket through these pillars. Valor is muscling through the vehicle, drifting through the various pillars, dust kicking up. Behind you, you hear a loud and see one of the pillars just come collapsing down over the top of the Demon Grinder as it just lumbers through. But after a few minutes, you're not seeing the fortress in the mess of pillars. This goes on for maybe 10 minutes or more of navigating this maze-like structure until eventually you start to see a horizon through the forest of pillars, and Valor out through the other side. The Demon Grinder smashes through another weak pillar, sending debris scattering across the open plain that you are now approaching. And as you start to skirt out across this open plain, you look back. You see the fortress now at a different angle. It seems to have lost you and is going at a different trajectory, but you're now seeing it start to arc back in the direction that you all are now going. So potentially made some ground there, but it still has eyes on you. As you are skirting out across this open salt flat, just like white dust starting to kick up everywhere. Kadam, I think you spot it first. It almost looks like liquid up ahead. There's something kind of shimmering and moving in the distance. And as you start to approach, you then hear something. You just hear this horrible, loud, cacophonous moan of thousands of voices just... And you realize that you are approaching just a sea of writhing, moving, strange humanoid shapes, kind of like lumpy and malformed, all moving as one massive herd across this salt flat. What do you all do in response to this?
Can I give a good sniff and follow the least devilish route through?
The least devilish route through? I mean...
If I can smell these creatures and then go away from that scent?
Go away from the direction of these? Yeah, sure. Make a perception roll.
Okay. And this is an advantage because I'm using my nose?
I believe so, if that's what your ability says, yeah.
Yes. Natural 20. 25.
Okay. A natural 20. I believe a skill challenges nat 20s count as 2 successes and nat 1s count as 2 failures. So that's a total of 3 successes on this as you sniff the hellish air, and indeed you get this incredible, strong, wafting scent of fiendish flesh before you. And you're starting to see some of the details of these creatures just lumbering across, and some of them are noticing you as you're approaching, looking and letting out cries as you're barreling it towards them. But Kadam, you catch like a hot wind on the air, and then a dry, almost burning scent that is not like it's different than what's coming before you. And as you kind of let your nose guide your gaze, you see off to the right, in the opposite direction that the fortress is headed, there is just a towering cloud of dust that is moving across the landscape, kind of in the direction of this herd of creatures. And you see sort of like streaks of red light throughout this dust storm that is billowing across the landscape. But you suspect you could risk it and take the vehicles into that dust storm and potentially lose sight of Zariel's, well, you don't know if it's Zariel's, but lose sight of this flying fortress.
That way, Valor, that way!
She looks and sees this like towering dust storm starting to approach. Just, are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. The demon grinder having to the camera sort of falls back and goes towards the front seat of the demon grinder. We see Pip there looking confused and looks at the dust storm. Oh, for fuck's sake. All right. You all start to arc away from this herd of creatures and start moving towards this dust storm that's just, and the vehicles just disappear into the cloud, and one final sound is drowned out by this roaring torrent of wind and dust that's now hitting the sides of the vehicles. And you start to see, like, within this storm, there looks to be these snaking red, like, columns of light just, and you start to notice that flames are sort of jetting out from these what look to be massive tornadoes of fire, just burning all around you in this dust storm. As far as you know, you've lost sight of the fortress. You have no idea how big this storm is or how big hell will decide this storm is for you. I will say that you've made it out from the perils of the fortress, but you now are in this dust storm. So I'm gonna need one more check to see if you can get through this without issue. So who's leading through the storm?
I could try just straight up perception.
Yeah, you can do that.
Claire, do you have a better idea?
I guess Pip could also contribute because you have her stat block, but yeah, whatever y'all.
Yeah. Does Pip's Misty Step thing for others, what's that called?
Oh, Vortex Warp?
Vortex Warp?
Yeah.
Does that work on objects, on vehicles?
Creatures.
Creatures, okay. Read details of one of these. Yeah. What? Is it possible for me to gather understanding of the intent of this storm?
To do what? An insight check?
Yes.
I don't think so.
That's
sorry.
reasonable.
I think yeah.
Would history work? Maybe being like the history of storms like this. I was in, I took that like class about or it wasn't a class. It was more like a, you know, infernal club of kids thinking that they were edgy and reading like forbidden texts.
Yeah, I mean, I think religion is maybe more apt for that. But I can see history working as well. Sure, yeah. So you're making a history check to recall
historical events, legendary people.
Yeah, go for it. You're making a history check to recall if you've read anything about storms like this on Avernus in your edgy class.
Again, not a class.
Oh, right.
Like, it was very, very like on the down low. You had to get like invited.
Yes.
Cool. 25.
25. Okay. Yeah.
What's the secret? What do I know? The one weird trick to get out of Infernal Death Storm.
I'm open to suggestions if you have an idea. I'm thinking of like, what does that look like?
Could we use the momentum of the tornadoes to like speed ourselves
between
along
or something?
the way? Yeah.
Maybe. I think what the history of this is it wasn't actually fire tornadoes that I know history about. It's an old story of a navigator on a sea ship who was navigating through kind of like an area of whirlpools.
Okay.
And was able to execute a series of maneuvers. It's just like, okay, like you think that you want to like turn away from whirlpools, and like, but the moral of that story is you have to like turn into them, but not too much.
So that's like what Kadam was saying, like using the kind of the force to whip yourself out of it and then into the next one. I love that. That's awesome. So Calliope, what do you say? Like Valor is right now driving and leading this, and you see one of these tornadoes is starting to look like it's going to be impossible to avoid, and Valor
I think it's like that
trying to turn away.
No, turn!
She's turning right, like away from it. She's turning. She's like, I am fucking turning.
No, the other way. Turn.
What?
35 degrees.
And then turns towards it.
No, too far. Back.
Recorrects,
pull.
And you all start to feel it picking up speed as the force of the tornado starts to pull it in. And Valor, with the help of Calliope, is able to just slingshot out, and the Demon Grinder, thankfully following closely behind, sort of slingshots out, and the whole back end, because I imagine it being very bulbous in the back end, sort of like whips out around and has to overcorrect back in to follow persistence. And this, I think, continues for at least 3 more bouts of this, of really intense shouting and maneuvering, of just whipping through these tornadoes until eventually, almost in an instant, this storm is so thick, it's just like a popping out of the dust. And you see clear Avernus skies out before you, of the red horizon and meteorites falling down far in the distance, and craggy mountains and bone as the dust storm continues to pass over you. Valor spots a rocky outcropping off to the right, where it actually looks like there's potentially carved natural, it's uncertain, but there is like a large cavernous mouth in the side of this rocky cliff, sort of at the base of a small mountain range. And she just, without saying anything, tired, starts to turn the vehicle towards that and limps it into the darkened interior of this cave. And the Demon Grinder coming up and resting behind.
Big Dummy just kind of collapses off of it. The canvas wings just like in tatters at this point. Just like collapse kind of like on its side. It's like legs all cattywampus.
Yeah.
And Calliope climbs out and she's just, oh, my friend. You're not looking great.
Big Dummy just lying there, the kind of, it's almost like a bulbous front end, right? Like where the head is, like where it can like shink. Just kind of like gently looks in your direction and then just lays back down.
Yeah. We'll get you fixed up. Don't you worry. Is everybody all right? How you looking back there? Gesturing at like the demon grinder. Y'all make it through?
Pip is like climbing out. I believe she has goggles, so she's like taking her goggles off. It looks like at one point she either. I mean, I think all of you.
The windshield was broken from the fight.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Like,
that's right.
so,
yeah.
like,
So she's just like taking the
cockpit is just-
goggles off, and dust
Yeah.
is just spilling out all around her. And she just looks over all of you. Oh, that was some fucking crazy maneuvering you did there. I couldn't believe it when you started going towards that thing, but hey, I mean, seemed like a good idea. And she sort of stumbles out, goes to the side and pulls open the big cargo bay that slams down, and you see the unicorn moon color resting there, looking up at all of you, and then just gently stands up and trots out into the cave and stands there in the dust looking you all over. There is there's like an undeniable sort of presence about this creature standing there before you. I'm not gonna necessarily say how it makes you feel, but it's just this like, it's just hard to deny the almost energy that's coming off of this thing. The like, the creature almost feels bigger than it probably is. But they stand there looking you all over. Thank you. Who do I have to thank as they look over at you all?
I spoke to you before. A few days ago?
Oh. Yes.
Lyra.
I recognize the voice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Truly.
You're welcome.
I don't know how long I've been in there for.
I don't know either.
Did you do all this just out of the goodness of your heart?
I suppose not entirely, but I think that's a conversation to like sit down and discuss. We do have something we'd like you to do, but you do not have to do it. Do I see or hear anything of that tower, like looking around here?
Of the tower? You mean of the flying fortress?
The flying fortress, yeah.
Make a perception roll.
22. Roll fine when I'm out of combat.
I'm gonna say you take a second and kind of step away from the group to peer out of the mouth of the cave, because you don't see anything within this space that you're in, inside this cave. But if you look out onto the massive kind of vista that stretches out before you of the craggy mountains and barren landscape, you do see very far in the distance, moving at a trajectory away from your position, that almost obsidian-like blade. So it's out there, but it's not moving in the direction that you all are currently at.
All right. I will go back in and say that to folks.
Well then, let's have the discussion. And I think we're going to end there because we're
makes
just
sense.
about at 9. All right.
Wow.
That was exciting.
Yes, that was.
Y'all rolled really well for that chase sequence. Oh my god.
I don't think we like rolled below on the die like 15.
No. Yeah. Yeah, my god. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you to Fusca for raiding us tonight. That was so nice of you. Really appreciate seeing you here and all the folks that came with you. Please come join us next week. If you are curious and just keeping up to date with us, we do have a Discord that we started recently. I have to remember to plug
that into the chat.
To plug it. Yeah, if you don't mind putting the link in chat. We also have an Instagram that we just like post to every week. It's just essentially an update, but we're basically doing the same thing on Discord.
If you want to reach us, Discord will get us faster.
Yes, you can also reach out to us on the Discord, and we'll try and respond if we can. But that's a good spot to just keep up to date of what's going on. All right, I think that's it. I guess I should say the typical thing of, so I don't know if there's any new viewers in chat tonight, but hey, if you can give us a follow.
We are charming, and you could hang out with us even more.
Yeah.
Isn't that a treat?
Yeah.
Yes, we are very kind in that way. We are generous.
Yes, we're so generous. Man, I never remember to say those things. But anyways, yeah, we'll see you. Hope to see you all next week. This was great.
And I am gonna pass on the raid if that's cool.
Yes,
to
do
a
it.
friend of mine
let's
who
raid
is
someone else.
streaming right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's see. How do we do this? No, they have disabled raids. That's cool.
Your friend has?
Yeah, seems like it. Okay.
All right.
It's fine.
Well, can we pass the raid on to just somebody else? I know you've done that.
Yeah, we can just do some random.
Yeah.
I got another person. They're playing Lancer, my favorite game. So that's another treat. We continue to be generous.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Okay. 4 viewers, 5 viewers, 7 viewers are all ready. Okay, let's do this.
Yay. Are we in?
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
So I think we can